Hello everyone. Today I'm just going to give you a rundown on installing the airbag ribbon. That's this guy here, and I'm going to show you how to take it apart, but most important would be installing it at the end. So for starters, I marked on the steering wheel and on the center on the bolt there, the thread mark as well, so when I put my steering wheel back on, I'm not having to try and match up that the wheels are pointing straight and that I've got the wheel on properly, the steering wheel on properly, that is. That just makes life a little bit easier there. You need to undo your, I've already done a few steps ahead just to save time. You need to undo your clip here, take that out, and you need to undo this, take that connection there off, which I have not done yet, and let's see if I can get in there with the Phillips, but I need a flathead. Okay, I'll get a flathead in a minute, take that out, and underneath you need to take this cover off, and you need to take these covers off, and you've got these screws here, and there's 5 altogether. These 3 here actually bolt this part to the column so it doesn't shake. These 2 here screw into the top cover to hold that on, so it clips at the back and holds the front down. And you've got those 2 there, and you can see mine have split at one stage in life, and all I did was use a bit of copper piping and a bit of epoxy glue, what we call arrodite, to put that on and fix that back up. This guy here, this yellow cable, it clips in behind this, so you got that clip there that you need to unclip and get the yellow cable out, and there's a bit of tape that is taped on around here that you need to take the tape off, undo your clip down the bottom here as well. Now this van didn't have airbags, but I've got this column on for a reason. Just bear with me for a sec. Okay. So we get that undone. And yeah, the reason why I've got this column with airbag ribbon is because I wanted the cruise control switch. So this steering wheel is off a 96 van and my van is a 92 van, so I've had to change the mounting here, and when you get that off, there's another mount behind it that had to be changed as well to suit this steering wheel, and that's why I've got that ribbon. And then I've got the aftermarket cruise control that I've wired into so I can use the original switch, and that all works perfectly. But at the moment I have no horn because this ribbon is busted, and so I'm replacing it. And yeah, that's, just trying to think if there's anything else I need to do first before getting the screwdriver to take that connection there out, because I'm going to stop the video when I do that. Well, to get the screwdriver, that is. And yeah, I'll get the screwdriver and then I'll get on to the next part. Okay, so that's all loose. I did forget to mention that there's a white plug like this underneath that also needs to be unclipped right there. So that goes into the bottom there. You can't unclip this part here. That would have made life easier, but that can't be done. I know, because I when I had this apart once before I tried. So now, get yourself a wheel brace. Make sure that the steering wheel's locked in spot, you know, in its locked position. Get your wheel brace, undo the nut a little bit, but don't do it all the way. Don't take this nut all the way off, because I did that many years ago when I was probably about 18. My first steering wheel removal, I took that nut off, pulled hard on the steering wheel and punched myself in the face, and yeah, gave myself a really sore nose. So you want to leave that on. Doesn't have to be that loose either, just a little bit loose. And now all you have to do is pull on the steering wheel, and there you go, that's now released. And now I can remove this nut. I like the way when watching American YouTube clips, they call everything fasteners, whether it's a nut or a bolt, they call it fastener, and that's, you can't make the mistake of calling a nut a bolt then, or a bolt a nut, can you? So now that's off, the steering wheel's off. Now I've got the 4 screws that's holding this down. Trying to do this single-handedly. Okay, and you can see those 2 triangles there line up, and this is the important part of putting it back together. So I'll get that off. Get my replacement one in position. Where's that? You've got the marks here. That's for when that would trigger the indicators to go off. That's controlled by on here. You got a big size and a small size, so you can't really get that on the wrong. Make sure that's right there. Okay. Okay, so this part here is important. So, and what I'm going to show you now is, don't forget the keys to the car, like I have. Got to get them. So I could just line that up right now, bolt that back up, but that's not what I want to do. So what I want to show you is how to make a mistake. All right, I did one step too soon. Take this guy back off and go get the car keys, because I need to do the next part. I need to do first before putting this back on, and show you what's important. Okay, so what I want to show you is that's the steering wheel, that's the top of the steering wheel there. Now it says on here that it's 6 turns, 3 one way, 3 the other, and that's plenty, because being like this, if I go 1 turn and then I got 1 3/4 turn. Goes back to the normal. There you go. 1 turn, and then 1 and nearly 2 turns. A little bit more than 1 1/4. That's the other one when I went left, and that's if I turn right. that means I got more of a right turn than I do left, and that's because over the years of doing wheel alignments, you pull up to get a wheel alignment done, the wheel alignment post will put your steering wheel straight, and then they adjust the wheels to suit. And so what happens is the steering arms get adjusted accordingly. So if you've got to pull to the left, then the steering arm gets adjusted and so forth, and to the point where at one stage, well, over the time, it starts to get adjusted too far one way, so that ends up you're losing one side of your turn. You're getting more turn on one side, less turn on the other. So on a technicality, my steering wheel probably should be like that there, and taken off and readjusted down there, and the wheels straightened up, and that'll give me an equal turning either way. And that's the important part. So mine, because it's pretty much okay, and I know that this guy here, it does 6 turns, 3 turns one way, 3 turns the other, I'm safe enough to install this the correct procedure and not have to calculate, okay, I'm only getting 1 turn one way, 2 turns the other. That would mess this up. I'd have to then go, alright, instead of making this on the 3rd turn, I'd have to make it on the 4th turn when installing it, so it gets the correct amount of turns on here without breaking the ribbon. So that's an important step to check. Just make sure, turn my little car off now, make sure that you're getting an equal turn both ways on the steering wheel before installing this, so you can estimate what changes need to be made. If you're only getting 1 turn one way, 2 turns the other, then this here needs to be, instead of 3 turns that way, 3 turns that way, it needs to be 2 turns that way, 4 turns that way, to compensate for the steering that was wheel alignment that was done incorrectly. So yeah, now I shall put this on. Okay, so I'm not going to show you me putting all the screws back in again, so I'll just stop this for now and start recording in a second. Okay, so when installing this, you'll get confused because you'll be like, did I make too many turns one way? You know, you don't know if it's in the middle anymore. That's all right. Just keep turning it, and you can feel when the ribbon starts to tighten up. So it's about there without forcing it any further. So that's the 3rd, or the 1st turn if you wish. So we're going to go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and then you can feel that's where it gets a bit tension there. So go back 1, 2, 3, and that's where it needs to be. Now is basically reverse everything that you've done to put it back on. And I'm just going to plug all this in to see if the horn works again, just while I'm making this. And then I'll tidy everything back up and put it back to how it was. So I also didn't show you, I had to unclip this from that there, and I unslid this black part here from there. And of course I've got wires hanging. That's because they're wires that's not needed. Like I said, it's not the original steering wheel to this car, or van rather. Plug this guy in up here. Okay. Cruise control works. I don't need the ignition off for the horn. screwed in, but yep, beautiful. Everything's working. So now I'll just take all this apart, and so I can put everything back in properly how it was, and basically just reverse how you took everything apart. That's how you put it back together. You probably hear that from nearly every single clip you ever watch. So yeah, thanks for watching, guys, and I can't promise you when the next video will be, but I'll make them as I go along. All right, cheers. Thanks for watching, everyone.